that the message here is to wear a seatbelt and to be mindful of your emotional state when you're driving. That was Karen's message after her DUI, directly after. And I think the real message, and where I think the accountability comes, is Karen telling her fans in a statement, it's wrong to drink and drive.
Well,
And that's what we're missing in the statement from Karen.
I'm just
That's
gonna
true.
say the message I'm taking as someone in the UK, because the world that Ashley is the one who's gonna hold people accountable, as she's the trial, as she's the justice in the world, it's not a world I want to live in. So thank God I am here. Woo!
Hey, it's a brotherhood. Woohoo!
Hey everyone, it's your bro, Mitch Kimbro. I'm here with the bros. Now, bad news. Karen is in some legal trouble after a recent car accident and DUI. Now, for the most part, the ladies are giving Karen support, from Gizelle to Dr. Wendy, but Ashley is confronting Karen on her DUI and how she's handling it.
I am in a case where I could have died.
Or taken the life of someone else. Yes.
And I'm grateful that
Ashley,
no one
that's
else
true.
no one else
know.
got hurt. And let me be very clear. I knew when you gave me those 4 Uber receipts that you were being shady as
These, obviously, I know they're gonna come in handy. $200 worth of some Uber cards.
Karen responded to Ashley on Watch Happens Live and had this to say.
Let's be clear. Ashley needs to be concerned about her relationship with alcohol. The way she sucks down the Coronas, I'm just saying.
Victor, do you think that Karen overreacted by saying that Ashley needs to focus more on the Coronas that she's taken?
I mean, I thought that was a read, honey. I think if the past indicates anything, we can see that I don't really think Ashley has a sensitivity to DUIs. I think we saw with Monique Samuels on season 3 that she was very opinionated on Monique's drinking, very insistent that she had a lot to drink, even though she was drinking and driving herself that same night. I don't really think it's fair to Karen. Maybe she approaches it differently, but who is Ashley at the end of the day to hold Karen accountable when there is a legal case and a judge who is there to hold Karen accountable?
I don't believe Karen has a leg to stand on because you are literally in trouble with the law for drinking and driving. So it's kind of like, girl. But she kind of always just throws out these outlandish things at some of her castmates, and then she kind of like shrivels up. So sometimes Karen needs to get her together. And I think that Karen did a really great job at getting her together real quick. Karen has an issue. She had a DUI twice. I fully understand that. I fully think that she shouldn't have to say anything about another cast member drinking. However, Ashley needs to just stay quiet because she didn't want nobody talking about her man when her man was doing very questionable things to the people behind the scenes, the crew members, as well as cast members. She didn't want nobody talking about that. She didn't want no comments about that. Kind of crazy things that he was being alleged to have done to people, especially crew members.
Yep.
Izzy, what do you think about this whole thing?
I think Karen should practice what she preaches because Karen is the one that's in trouble with the law, like Eric said. So I don't think, and I understand there are things you can't say while you're going to court. You have to be strategic. You're being advised. So I understand. But, I just think Karen should practice what she preaches. That's all.
But to add to that quickly, Izzy. So when we're talking about practicing what she preaches, what do you feel like Karen's preaching?
Well, she's telling Ashley to watch or focus on the amount of drinks she's having. She should be focusing on the amount of drinks she's having.
Well, I think it's the opposite, actually. I think Ashley's talked about how reckless Karen's being, and she's talked about how reckless Monique's being, but every episode she has a Corona, and she's admitted on season 3 that she has driven when she's been drunk.
But then you sit there and admit that you had 4 or 5 beers and then drove home. Like, what sense does that make?
I did, but did I crash my car? No, I did not.
So don't sit there and try to
Stop it!
So this is someone who does drive when they are drunk. It's just someone who happened not to get in an accident. So that's why Karen's reflecting on the fact that you're getting drunk while at work and you're drunk driving as well, and you've had a history of that too. And I actually think it's Ashley who's not practicing what she's preaching.
Well, I think you brought up a good point. Ashley hasn't been in trouble with the law while Karen has. So, until proven innocent.
I also think a good point to make is that
hold on, just to clarify. So Izzy, now do you feel like Ashley is actually the one that needs to practice what she preaches, Not
No,
Karen? What do you
no,
think now?
no.
What do you
I,
think?
I'm gonna stick with what I'm saying. Karen needs to practice what she preaches. I mean, how many you know, never mind.
But the
The
But hold
facts
fact,
on,
are
hold
also
on, hold on, hold on, Victor. Damien, like this is an ongoing case, and Karen can't give us all the details. Do you think the ladies need to give Karen a chance? Like, give Karen a chance here.
oh God.
Yes and no. Like specifically with Ashley, I do agree with the message, just wrong messenger. Okay, Karen is in my
yeah.
top 5 favorite housewives of all time. I love her. However, this is not a good look when you're a 60-year-old woman on your second DUI. Like your daughter is in her early 20s, if that. She's in college. That's something you would expect out of your college age daughter to be out here doing. If I were her, if I were Raven, I would be mortified, like having to go to school. Oh, your mama got another DUI. You know what I mean? So I understand where Ashley's coming from, but she's not the one to be saying that, because just like Karen said, worry about the amount of Coronas you're drinking because you're one Corona away from a DUI yourself. I mean, let's
I
just
think the
go
only
ahead,
problem
Eric.
I have, I don't like, if you don't like Karen, then don't like Karen. But don't
Yeah.
try to spin it as I like Karen and I'm trying to look out for her. And I like, it's like what Tamara's doing. I love her so much, but what I'm going to do every time I talk about her, I'm going to dig at her. I'm going to dig at her. I'm going to make her feel worse. That doesn't make any sense to me. If you don't,
Well, okay.
you can be like, you know what? I think Karen needs to stop drinking, but I'm not going to speak anymore because she has an ongoing case. I don't know.
Right.
Like, that's just so
Well,
ratty to
let's
me.
talk about her case. Let's talk about her case. Let's talk about Karen's charges because the DUI is not even Karen's DUI is not even the whole story.
I
According
know.
to the Maryland Judiciary records, Karen is facing several charges, which includes reckless driving, driving a vehicle under the influence of alcohol, negligent driving of a vehicle in a careless, imprudent manner, failure to control vehicle speed on a highway to avoid collision, driving a vehicle in excess of reasonable and prudent speed on a highway, and lastly, driving a vehicle on a highway with a suspended registration.
Huh.
So I
Well, I
applaud
can't
Not
talk with that
Ashley.
one.
suspension registration.
I can't talk with that one. I've had a few myself.
I applaud Ashley for confronting Karen because Karen was lucky that she hit a street sign and only a street sign and not a person.
Hmm.
So just
That's
to
fair. That's
clarify,
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
clarify, Mitch, if we had one of those same issues within this group,
Oh,
you think
child.
it would be productive to talk about that on a recording, and that would be applaudable to bring it up in that context as a friend,
Good
as
point. I'm
people are
curious to
concerned
know
on a
what you would
national
do.
platform.
Well, listen, specific to Karen, it's about accountability. Specific to Karen, because after her DUI, she gave a statement to TMZ, and she said that it all happened after a dinner with a friend. They were discussing an emotional topic, and she was heading
Oh.
home after the conversation, crying. And Karen explains that a car was heading her way. She swerved to avoid the collision, hit a divider, and then hit a tree. And Karen also says she was surprised that the car got away and drove away, and saying that the message here is to wear a seatbelt and to be mindful of your state, your emotional state when you're driving. That was Karen's message after her DUI, directly after. And I think the real message and where I think the accountability comes is Karen telling her fans in a statement, it's wrong to drink and drive.
Well,
And that's what we're missing in the statement from Karen.
I'm just
That's
gonna
true.
say the message I'm taking as someone in the UK is I'm happy I'm not in America where the citizens trust Ashley more than the legal system to hold Karen accountable. So I'm happy I'm in the UK and away because the world that Ashley is the one who's gonna hold people accountable, as she's the trial, as she's the justice in the world, it's not a world I want to live in. So thank God I am here. Woo!
I think also holding someone accountable doesn't necessarily have to look like you blasting them to the entire world. I
Yeah.
can have a
Exactly.
best friend. I can have my best friend or my partner. I can hold them accountable, but I don't have to do it in front of everybody. I don't have to do it in that's the same thing because not everybody is owed so much accountability. And I actually really agree with you. At the end of that statement, she should have said 100%, please do not drink
Agree
and
with
drive.
who?
With you. I know,
Okay,
crazy, nuts.
Mitch.
Absolutely
Mitch.
crazy.
Just
I
for the people
agree
watching, just
with
for the people watching,
Mitch.
I don't want to think
I'm
that it
sure,
was
look at me.
Victor.
I
It
agree
was Mitch.
with Mitch
Okay, thank
because
you.
she should have 100%, because you were bringing us to church this Sunday morning, because she should have 100% ended that statement with, you should not be drinking and driving. Because nobody cares about a seatbelt, because you won't need a seatbelt if you're not swerving for a car that's moving. Let's just keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck here. You have enough money to call an Uber. It is
And it's
2024.
her second one, y'all.
And it's your
I
second
think,
one, Mama. Come
yeah,
on.
that's
I love
true.
you, girl. I love you. But I'm going to need you to get
No.
it together. I'm going to need you to get it
Yes.
together.
Preach, Eric.
I
Amen.
think that she could have taken more accountability in her statement. While I agree with Eric, I think there could be more accountability on what she's saying, especially as someone who has a platform. I think at the same time we haven't seen the season play out, but do I think it's justified and applaudable to hold someone in accountability and question them and their integrity and their reputation on national television? Do I think that's an applaudable way of holding a friend accountable? Not really.
I agree.
Well, Victor, that's not right. Because it is not right. Because we see on Watch What Happens Live, Karen's most recent statements show me that she has no interest in accountability. And I think it's a preview of what we're going to see from her throughout the season, where she's not going to take accountability and she has no interest. Because listen, let's talk about Shannon. If we compare Shannon and we compare Karen, because listen, I got to just kind of keep it honest. Damien, Eric, Victor, three of you, Izzy had the day off that recording, but the three of you were correct and I was wrong. I was wrong. Shannon did take more accountability than Karen. If you see Shannon, she got with her daughters. She talked about how irresponsible her decisions were, and she participated in the court mandated programs that were going to get her from to the next level of where she needed to be. You got to applaud Shannon, give her credit. So I'm going to concede there. I'm going to actually take the fault. Watch previous
I
recordings.
agree.
Talk about Orange County on Bro Chat, last two recordings, not last two recordings because this might come out a little later, but take a look at our last two Orange County recordings, and I'm going to take the bullet there. But I stand by everything else I said. But I'm going to take the bullet there. But Karen has no interest in accountability, Victor.
I don't make my judgments based on limited context. I make my judgments based on the full context.
But you could argue that she could have released a statement when the episode, but she could have released a statement now on her Instagram when it came out and said, hey, this is how I feel, because the statement was months ago. Months ago.
To Victor's point, it's an ongoing case, right, Victor?
Yeah.
So
yes, it's an ongoing case. So to my point, it's an ongoing case, as well as the fact that that part of the season hasn't come out. And because it's an not the thumbs up, honey.
Yeah, why
because
does the thumbs up keep popping up?
But it's transported from Mitch to me. But since it's an ongoing case still, I think that it's not necessarily wise for her to not only put herself on trial in the court case, but also by people before she needs to be. It's only going to maximize the attention and the negativity that she'll get going into the court case.
But then she shouldn't say anything about it, and I think that's the difference, because she is saying other things about it.
Yeah, but she's
so it's either don't talk or...
She's trying to address it, but not in a way that further incriminates herself than she needs to.
Well, I can see what you're saying.
Eric, you're saying that what Victor's saying is fair. I don't think what Victor is saying is fair.
I do.
Because when we look at Karen's most recent statement, Karen's most recent statements on Watch Happens Live, Karen has the nerve and the guts,
the gall and the gumption.
The gall and the gumption to say that we will win this case, that she will win this DUI case. Avoiding consequence and avoiding accountability is not a win. And that is the issue.
Say that when you're on trial, though. It's not like she has an option to not say that. I think that's where I can understand where Victor's coming from, because I personally don't agree with it, but I could understand that if my lawyers are advising me, then that's what you kind of have to do, because you're paying them for that expertise. She'd be a dumb person not to listen to them.
Jen Shaw, innocent up until the last hour.
Yeah, mama.
I have zero sympathy for a repeat offender.
Well, then why are you Trump supporter.
I have zero.
I agree.
What?
Wait,
You're
I
on
agree
your
with
Trump
Mitch.
supporter? Like we would talk about bro code before, and on bro chat many
Oh,
times, and you said you
Uh,
think Trump's been great. He's a repeat
child.
offender.
oh,
Okay. Well, listen.
Okay,
I'm
I don't
gonna.
want to be a part
shall
of
we
You
go
that
you
there?
discussion.
everyone looking in. You know Michelle Obama's motto: when they go low, we go high.
We go even
Take the
lower,
high
baby.
road. Take the high
Oh,
road. Focus on Karen, the grand dame. I want to switch gears to Shannon. Shannon talks about a text that she did not receive from Karen. So Karen is saying that she reached out to Shannon after the DUI because they both have had DUIs, and Shannon is saying I never received a text from Karen.
Have you spoken to Karen Huger since her DUI has unfolded?
Hey, by the way, I just literally today or last night when I landed, read that she said that she reached out to me after my DUI. I don't have that, but I did get a text right after her DUI, and it said, "I'm good. Are you?" or something like that. And I thought, okay, this is a fake.
Ooh, Eric, who do you believe between Shannon and Karen on this
Neither
whole
of them.
text video?
I don't believe neither of them.
I'm
Those
with
two are messy, and it's why I tune in every week, but I don't believe a soul of them. I don't buy it. I'm not buying that.
Well, Victor, Karen says the answer is yes. I texted Shannon. She did not reply. End of story. Anything otherwise implied is truly ridiculous. Victor, who do you believe?
Well, I hope Miss Karen's got the right phone number, because maybe she's texted the wrong person.
We
Ooh.
can easily prove it with screenshots,
Yeah,
right?
where's the screenshot? Bring it
Yeah.
out.
Who?
What do you
You,
think?
Izzy.
Oh, Izzy. I don't know who to believe. I'm with Eric on this. I just have to ask Karen, were you under the influence when you sent that text message?
Oh.
Like I don't know who to believe. Both of them got a DUI, and until proven innocent, they both been charged. So, I don't
So
know who to believe.
everyone, Izzy is the new shade assassin of bro
Oh.
chat. And possibly in the
Y'all
chat.
wanted Izzy, and I'm here.
Unleash,
Good.
mama. Level 2. Evolution.
Damien,
I
who do you believe?
Go ahead.
Didn't Shannon say after all? She said, "I do remember getting a text from Karen saying something like, 'I'm okay, are you?' Right? Didn't Shannon
Yeah, I
admit to
did.
After Karen's DUI, but not after Shannon's DUI.
after Karen's DUI? Okay, so I think
So
what I
Karen's was
think
first.
happened, huh?
Shannon.
Shannon was first, then Karen.
Yeah, Shannon's DUI was first, then Karen's. I think Karen was probably a little tipsy because I was thinking that Karen had probably texted Shannon saying, 'Yo, are you good after your DUI? I'm good after mine.' Was probably drunk after she said it and doesn't really want to talk about that now. But I
Yeah.
had the timeline
Well,
mixed up.
technically, Shannon did kind of admit that Karen texted her after her DUI. She didn't say how long, she didn't say immediately. But if Karen texted her after her own DUI, then she did text Shannon after her DUI. Because that's
There you
after,
go.
in terms of what happened. So there we go.
She was probably
Yeah.
tipsy trying to relate. We worked together on Project Runway.
So
Girl, you
Shannon did get
good?
a text message from Karen
Tipsy to try
that
to
she
relate.
admitted
What
after her
are you
DUI.
good? What are we gonna do? What's the problem? Are they gonna file her stuff? You know.
But listen,
Girl, how's that storyline
I
going?
agree with Damien. I agree with Damien. Show the text messages. These are text messages. These
Yeah,
aren't phone
show the text
calls.
messages.
These aren't phone calls. So
Sorry.
show the text. So I wanna see what these texts were and when they were sent and all of that. So let's see them. Well, everyone looking in, make sure you like this video and let us know who do you believe between Shannon and Karen. And Rose and Chat will be back. We'll see you again next time.
Bye, y'all.